I got a 141 in GS4, and I did take a lot of effort for GS4. Probably it was one of the favorite subjects. It was lovely studying GS4, so I invested a lot of time in that, and you can also maybe take some help from whatever I did. So what I did for GS4 is that I used a lot of examples from the epics, the Ramayana, Mahabharata. For example, whenever there is a case study which talks about the last mile delivery or reaching the most underprivileged people, I used quote like how Lord Ram, when the Ram Setu bridge was being made by the monkeys, a small squirrel helped with whatever might she could, and Lord Ram was a lot impressed with that. So, which shows the contribution of even the smallest, tiniest being in this world, and how important it is to include every person in your decision, in your policy making. So this is one very example we have always read, we have always listened it from our family members, from our elders, but we often tend to forget it. So if you have not, even if you have not gone through Ramayana, Mahabharata, I'm not telling you to go through it. Even if you Google life lessons from Ramayana or ethics lessons from Ramayana, you'll get a list of 30-40 lessons. Just read it. Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're just in the washroom scrolling your phone. Just read it, just go through it, and you will get a lot of inputs from that. There are excellent examples from Ramayana and Mahabharata that I'll share with you also. From Mahabharata also you will see, again in Ramayana I remember one more example. Lord Ram asked Lakshman to learn the art of warfare from Ravana, and also how spiritual he was. So even if you can learn a lot of things from your enemy, how the art of learning is not restricted, never restricted. You have always to be on the learning curve, and even your enemies provide you a lot of ground for that. And for a question on women's dignity and empowerment, you can always quote Mahabharata, how when Kauravas tried to rebuke the dignity of Draupadi, the war took place for righteousness. So you can quote those examples. These would be very interesting. For ethics, also what I did, there is a YouTube channel which is called The School of Life. They have some 3-minute, 4-minute videos, not more than that, and it has very extensive videos on ethics theory. Not everything, but just 1 or 2 liners from that this particular theory says that this and this. You can quote that also. For ethics, also collect a lot of examples of excellent work done by senior IAS officers or people in every field. You can get a collection of all those examples in, let's say, the Better India. These are some magazines where you will get these examples at one place. Even in the Hindustan Times, I think there is a column which talks about the tree of life. You can get its compilations. It has a lot of sayings and lessons related to ethics. So you'll have to take a little effort in ethics. I think it will take 5 days of your entire time, but it will give you an edge of about 20-30 marks. For the case study in ethics, do not follow a mechanical approach. Ki har question mein you made that stakeholder. It does not work that way. So think about the examiner. He has been checking so many copy, reading every answer mein stakeholder. He learned all the stakeholders now. Don't use that stakeholder approach every answer. Maybe in 1 or 2 case study you can use the stakeholder approach, but try to follow your own pattern. Make it a little different. And in the case study, try to provide everything for every stakeholder, something for every stakeholder. Even if it's a very minute stakeholder, just write 1 line for that person also, so that everyone gets a say in it. And use the theories that you have learned for writing in the first 10 answers, the utilitarian theory, the Kantian philosophy, everything. You can use it in your case study also. Why not? Here, while you're taking decision in a case study, you might have thought something, you are taking decision based on that theory, write it down. That based on this philosophy also, even Gita talks about Nishkam Karma or whatever. So if you think there are basic lessons that you have read, let's say you have read Vajpayee ji's book, or you have read some good author, Vivekanand quote, you write it. They were quotes we used to write it in our 6th and 7th assembly classes. We remember it by heart, but you do not use it. Use the preamble. Use fundamental duty, use DPSP in your ethics answer. These are things that you know by heart. You do not have to make any extra effort. You just need to use it. I don't know why we are very hesitant in using the knowledge of other papers in other papers. It can always be done. GS2 would come to the rescue of GS4 a lot. So this is it I did for the mains.